What up?
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
Hey, and I lack a beard now.
He lacks a beard. I'm still trying to make America
Sane
again. And we always going fishing in this bitch. We're always full of beans.
And we're always Pauly Shore.
We're always fucking representing Pauly Shore's 50th
birthday party.
At all times.
Yeah.
So, what's up? Did you watch The Gray? We did.
Yeah, I did.
I hope you did.
I mean, you could have too.
Yeah, join us on the experience if you want.
Especially if you haven't seen it before.
Yeah, and let us know what you think. We always want to know. Ehsan, what did you think?
It was a good movie. It's like a real deal movie too.
It's a real movie.
It's like heavy and shit. It's like it was just I wasn't expecting that. You know, it's like oh god, it's like it takes an emotional toll.
Yeah.
Because there's like, the whole movie is just about accepting death.
Primal. I liked it. The whole movie, I felt the whole movie was primal. Like, these are all primal instincts. Everything that's happening is a primal instinct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very like, stay alive. I felt, we talked about this earlier, because I remember the trailers for this.
Yeah.
I felt like they marketed the movie wrong.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be an action movie where he fights a bunch of wolves constantly.
Yes.
They don't really show the wolf fight at all.
And that makes sense.
Because that makes sense for what the movie actually is. Yeah. It absolutely makes sense.
No. I'm talking about not even that. I'm talking about it makes sense that they were marketing that way.
Yeah.
Because this is during the Taken era.
Right.
So they were like, oh, well, how can we get people to come see this movie? Oh, we'll just show them fighting
wolves. And it's like, and then people, I remember I felt that way. I know people felt that way at the movie theaters. Like, oh, is that Taken with wolves?
Yeah. And then you see it and you're like, no.
Yeah, it's a different genre of movie.
Yeah, because Taken is a little more. It's not taken serious as fuck too, but it's a little more campy. The colors are a little more bright. If that, you know what I mean?
It's a more fun action movie.
Even though it's dark as fuck, it's sex trafficking.
Yeah, it's pretty.
But it is. It's not. It's The Gray is way more The Revenant, nigga.
Yeah, it's gritty.
And this is like, The Gray is like The Revenant in that sense of a gritty, rated R, not family fun.
Ooh, no,
dark picture.
No.
He is not just fighting wolves, nigga. He's fighting existence.
Yeah. He's fighting life.
He's fighting God. He's fighting all kinds of shit, nigga.
Yeah.
It's all kinds of stuff he's fighting. It's not just, he's fighting the elements.
Yeah, he has trouble just accepting shit. Yeah. I think a lot of the, to me, some of the biggest, like, issues with his leadership, if I said is I think they constantly keep going back for shit. That they try to save people that I think are just unsavable. Like when they like go down the trees really fast to save the guy from the wolves.
Yeah, let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Stay up in the trees. They should have stayed up in the trees and got down slowly later.
Yeah. Because the guy ended up hurting himself and he's like, well, I'm going to die now. Might as well die with this view.
God damn. And you know what? He might have been able to help. If they'd had 3, he might have been able to help the dude from drowning because one of them would have been able to go underwater and be like, oh, his foot's caught.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, would you have left the plane that quickly?
I'm listening to the wolf dude for sure.
Yeah.
Once I seen the nigga get eaten, but once he gets bit by wolves, I'm like, okay. Then the wolves come up and approach us. I'm like, fuck. Then one of us that night gets eaten by wolves alive, and the guy's like, yo, we got to get out of here. I'm like, yep, nigga, I don't.
Right.
You know what? What do I know? I saw that dude's eaten alive.
Yeah, dude, they fucking fucked that.
And they didn't eat him. They just killed him. They just killed him, like, and they got his throat. Like, they did it like assassins.
Yeah. Usually, at that point, you know you're fucked. You're in that kill radius or whatever.
Yeah, you're in that 50-meter kill zone, bro, where it's like, yo, you just too close to the house.
You're just too close to the house. And then they ended up walking into it.
God, them niggas walked them into it, too. Like, get on over here since you this close, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh, my God. There were so goddamn many wolves, too.
They're
like
mean.
Yeah, you think one of them would be, like, not mean.
Yeah, where's the wolf that like listens to indie rock music and, and he like gets people?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a little bit of the gene that made them dogs in there, right?
Yeah.
You think you'd be able to win them over somehow because you're in the wilderness for that long.
I mean, I guess he did. I mean, in the end, did you stay for the end of the credits?
Yeah.
I told you. I mean, you don't know if he wins.
It's true. Well, I mean, he definitely does a number. They definitely he does a number on that wolf for sure.
Oh, that wolf's dead.
Yeah,
like, that wolf doesn't get to live anymore.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he gets to live anymore, but that wolf is fucking dead.
He killed the alpha.
So I don't know I don't know if that means the other wolves aren't going to kill him. I don't know how. I haven't talked to a wolf in a while.
You know?
So I don't know. But that is interesting. I thought that was just really cool, like especially when the alpha threw down a challenge to see who was going to attack the one dude. I was like, oh, that's some dope shit. That wolves do that. That wolves just are like,
Yeah.
Like that's how they operate. It's pretty much like drumline.
Do they operate like that in real life, or is that movie? I went to look this up because I had heard somewhere that like the alpha omega system only exists with wolves in captivity.
Interesting. You would think there'd be an alpha system in the real life.
You would think. I don't know how wolves work though.
There'd have to be. There'd have to be. I'm not saying it works exactly like the way you know it, but there'd have to be some form of
hierarchy, right?
Exactly.
They're social creatures.
And I mean, lions do it. Cats do it. So I don't think dog. You know what I'm saying? Like
cats and dogs are different though.
Oh.
Cats and look, I've listened to enough stand-up to tell you.
You know what? I could list all the comedians who have told me
that cats and dogs
this year who have told me that
cats and dogs are different.
Been told since 1984.
Yeah, the cats and dogs, they're not the same.
You sure?
Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure.
All right, I'll go.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. We'd have to look over the video evidence again.
and 13,000 hours.
13,000 hours on whether or not cats and dogs are the same.
Shitting on people are cool with.
Well, you know what's funny?
I'm fans of these guys who have these.
You know what's funny? It's like a part of me is like, man, I hope one day I have a good cats versus dog bit because like you sort of everyone has one. That's one of those things that it's like a badge.
I hope mine is not about cats versus dogs though. I hope mine is really like about like abortion rights or some shit. You know what I mean?
Well, way to be hacky about it.
I guess so. I don't want to just be talking about cats. We know. We know, nigga.
Well, apparently not. You literally just brought it up like they were the same. Well, so maybe you don't know they're different.
Oh, maybe they are. I don't know. You're right. Tell me more, comics.
Yeah, we should have. Yeah, we should. I should have Googled how dogs in real life work.
There's definitely alpha systems because you can see it. You
can see how many wild wolves.
No. I'm talking about dogs.
Yeah,
like how they treat the person. Like how a person can be like if a motherfucker, a pack of dogs can be running around, and then there's an alpha dog, and then a motherfucking person come up, and then now even the alpha dog, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just crazy. They do operate on that kind of way.
Yeah, dogs are weird.
So yeah, in wolves, I'm assuming they had to get that gene from somewhere. Like you say, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that makes sense.
It
makes sense if there is, but I don't know.
It's really cool. They're really cool.
Yeah, wolves are pretty dope.
Yeah,
they fuck Liam Neeson's crew up
one by one.
Yeah, I would definitely rather be the guy who died in the cold.
Oh, the black guy who just thought about his sister? Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. That was the way to go. If you had to pick a way to go.
It's fucked up that everybody's lives was fucked up. Other than the one guy was just a good dad. But I thought the one death that was fucked up the scariest was the guy who said he just was going to quit because he was just like, man, my life sucked. Look at that view though. Damn, bro. Damn.
Yeah, they all have, you can tell they all have some fucked up life.
Loss. They all had some kind of loss.
Loss. Yeah.
They don't, the guy who drowns, they never get into his backstory, but you feel whatever it is.
Yeah, you just feel they're all just sort of these guys that are just.
That's why they're working that job.
This oil refinery.
Yeah, and then he's a wolf hunter.
Yeah, oof, that's rough. That's rough.
That's a rough gig.
I like the limited backstory.
Oh, I love it. Love that we don't. Oh shit. Love that we don't know much about the woman. I love that it's just all like, and there's no answers. I love that there's no answers in this movie.
The best I can say is that I think that she dies, and that's what sets him off. Because there's one scene where she's talking about like, don't be scared or whatever she keeps saying. Don't be scared, and you see an IV bag and it's dripping.
He was talking about how he couldn't save her and blah blah blah. Probably was cancer or something.
It's something like that. But you don't know for sure.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's not what the movie's about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think the whole movie's about him just learning to accept death.
I should have looked that up because this is actually I'm wondering if this person did the person who did The Grey did these other 4 movies that were like, oh wow, that makes sense. You know what I mean? You want me to look it up live on air? Wow, I guess we've never done that.
Yeah, we've never done that.
We've never done a live look up, nigga. You know what though? It's a crazy kind of day. It's a crazy kind of day today.
Well, you guys know because you clicked on the episode, but let's see who directed this.
Because this is a really the shots are really well done. The pacing is amazing.
It's directed by Joe Carnahan. Let's see.
Joe.
He Smoking Aces, The A-Team, and The Grey.
I like Smoking Aces. I like The A-Team.
Oh, you saw The A-Team?
Not great. Smoking Aces. Smoking Aces is good. The A-Team is not great, but I liked it. And then The Grey is fucking phenomenal. Those are the only 3 movies he's ever done.
No, he's done a lot, but he's done Taco Heaven, Blood, Guts, Bullets, and Octane.
Oh, he worked his way up to those 3 movies.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that.
Nail in My Coffin, Narc, The Hire, Boys Unauthorized, and then Smoking Aces, Pride and Glory, Susanna, The Fourth Kind, which I didn't like, Smoking Aces 2, and then the A-Team. And then the Gray, and after that, it's been,
He's been chilling.
well, the Stretch, Death Wish, and Boss Level. So it seems like his big three were in the middle.
Yeah.
But, he might have another big one.
You might have one more in the chamber. God, directing's hard, bro.
Yeah, he has a lot of movies with Ray Liotta.
That's good.
Yeah, so,
Yo, everybody learned something today. We usually don't learn this much on this podcast. Podcast.
We really don't. So that was the Gray, everybody.
Beaners.
We're back.
In different seats.
We are in different chairs. I don't know if you can tell.
I don't know if you can tell, but we know it, that
Yes,
we are
we
in
know
different fucking chairs.
Than our
and it's
normal
for
chairs.
a reason. Guys, today,
It's a reverse episode, bitches.
it's our first whoop, whoop, reverse.
Bow, 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 bow.
Reverse.
We both hate that song. We're contractually obligated to do it. Bro.
Yeah. So today, I am Ehsan Ahmad,
And I am Deric Poston.
and it's still Spoil the Beans.
But it's reverse the beans.
So today, Ehsan, reverse my beans.
God, reversing your beans.
Unspoil
baby.
me.
Oh, man, I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited.
You guys know the movie. Go ahead.
Okay, well, Deric knows the movie.
I know this one.
We planned this out a while ago.
But
either way,
Yeah, the next reverse I will not know.
no.
But this reverse I know. But
Yeah.
go ahead and ask me anyway.
Deric.
Yes.
Allen Iverson Poston.
Wow, you knew. Okay.
Yeah, the educated guess. Tell me what happens in the movie Oldboy.
Ooh. I feel like you. I've never seen this movie, y'all. What if I've seen it?
Do you know anything about it?
Before I
Anything.
give my guess.
Yeah, anything. Anything at all.
I know it's great. Everyone's
Okay.
told me it's great. Deric, and everyone's told me this. Deric, you're going to love this movie. Because niggas know I love movies. People say I'm going to love this movie.
Do you know what language it's in?
Nope. I don't know shit to see the fact. I didn't know you gave something away. I didn't know nothing about it.
Okay.
You just gave something away.
I gave something
So now
away.
it's in a different language. I didn't know that.
All right.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I knew nothing about this movie other than it's a perfect film. They remade it in America with Josh Brolin. And
This is one of my favorite movies.
everyone says that.
This is one of my favorite movies.
You've told me that. Brian
Yeah.
Simpson's told me that. Most of my good friends have said this is one of the best
I know
movies
this
they've
is
ever
Bobby
seen.
Lee's favorite movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Brian Simpson's favorite movie as well. So
I get that 100%. That makes sense.
I'm very excited.
Tell me what happens. How does it begin?
It's about, I'm a guess. If I'm a guess, nigga, straight up. I don't know. I'm a guess. Old boy.
Mhm.
It's about an old cop, nigga.
Okay.
Old retired cop, probably.
Okay.
And that nigga, he's Asian. I'm a guess because you said a different language, so I don't think it's like Scottish.
Okay. That's actually
which would
pretty
be
fair.
crazy
That's
dope
actually
if you were like, bro, we going all Scottish today.
Movie opens with bagpipes.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm a guess, nigga. I'm a guess Korean. Fuck
Okay.
it, Korean film.
Okay.
So they speaking Koreanese. It's an old Korean cop, and he's old. He's an old boy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So it's the main
I'm
character.
a guess.
What's the conflict?
Hold up, yeah. I'm a guess he's not a lovable dude. Like you fuck with him, but he's a bad guy, like Vegeta or something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like he's a good cop, but a bad cop. But
Okay.
he's been a bad cop. I'm gonna say he's been a bad cop, right? And then finally something forces him to be good. Like
Okay.
I'm just all right. So let me
Okay.
just go with me here. All right,
Okay.
I've never done this.
Okay, I know you've never done this. I'm aware.
Okay, I didn't know.
You fucking asshole.
I don't know if you listen to the podcast.
All right. Okay. So
So he's a
good guy. What's the conflict?
Yeah,
what's he trying to do?
yeah, he's a bad guy. He's a bad cop.
Bad cop.
He's a
Turned
bad cop. No, and a situation happens. Like I'm gonna guess a little girl, like
Okay.
a little girl prostitute. Like he finds her and he's like,
Okay.
"Oh, this little bitch reminds me of my mom or some shit."
Okay.
And then my Korean mom, who's
Okay.
also a prostitute.
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be some other bad dudes like, "Hey, we need that girl's more important than," which is always the case. That girl's double important.
Right.
She's a really important prostitute because
Okay.
she has some information. And he's like,
Ooh.
"Man, fuck y'all, nigga." And then he fucking
some important information.
yeah.
Okay.
And then he fucking like starts, and he's like, "Wait, hey, I like this little girl. She's cool. I don't want y'all to." And then he's like, "Well, they got the information." And then it's just the most dope, actiony. I'm gonna say they get the girl on some Man on Fire shit. They get the girl, kill the girl.
Ooh, the girl.
Straight up, the girl dies though, and like she dies. And they think they kill him.
Oh,
They don't kill him.
Oh man, he survives.
He survives, and they throw him over the water. They always throw a nigga over water. That never kills him. That never kills him, bro. Don't kill that nigga before you throw him over the water.
Okay.
You throw him over the water.
That's a good
he
point.
dries up. He washes up on land, and then he fucking some other Korean some other Korean people that are like drug. They do work in the poppy seeds. They find him. You know what I'm saying? And they heal him up, and then he goes on a revenge thing and kills everybody.
And that's how it ends?
And that's old boy, nigga. And at the end, he dies.
Okay.
He gets every last one of the motherfuckers.
Okay, wow. You know, it's impossible not to incorporate other movies into your guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw a little Taxi Driver in there. I saw, yeah.
Training Day not Training Man on Fire was in there.
Yeah, it's impossible, man. Oh, man. You were so wrong, you goddamn idiot.
Okay.
You
Wrong all the way?
piece of shit. You got a couple things right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. You know movies.
That's crazy.
You know movies.
I'm just going off the vibe and what you guys like and what I like.
You stuck in the world, and I liked your guess. It was a good movie, but this is like way better than whatever the fuck that was.
I bet it was. I'm sorry.
This is way fucking better.
I'm about to watch a movie through the eyes of Ehsan Ahmad, y'all. Let's do it together.
All right. So the quick disclaimer: it is Korean. That's the one you got right. So. The dialogue is
fucked up. I figured that.
Yo, Asians are woo. So the dialogue is just I would do this guy's translation. So hopefully it was good, but it was pretty good. All right.
So there's subtitles of whole movies.
Yes, whole movie.
Okay.
Whole movie. And when I downloaded this a long time ago in my movie downloading years, and I forgot the opening track is Hindi, so I watched the first 10 minutes like, dude, what the fuck is going on? And then I realized I had to switch the track in the computer to Korean.
Oh.
So they dubbed it over with Hindi first and made that the number one option because I downloaded it off some site.
So I got to make sure I watch it in Korean.
Yeah.
That's the way to watch it.
Definitely watch it in Korean.
Okay.
So the shot opens, really intense action music. A lot of like symphony, like symphonic sort of music with like violins, but then this one has like a guitar and a drum beat behind it, right?
Okay.
Just intense action music, right? The music in this is unbelievable. And you'll sort of see like you float in and out with it, you know? All right, so the shot opens on music and it's a man and he's grabbing a tie, right? It's daytime. He's grabbing a tie and he's like shaking and there's a guy making like terrified noise, right? And we pan up and we see our main character, but the sun is kind of behind him, so he's kind of dark and he just looks crazy, right? His hair's disheveled. He has this like sort of dead stare in his eye, right? And we turn around and we see our main character is holding a guy over the edge of the building. It's a high rise. And he's holding him on by his tie. And the guy has like this like white dog in his hand, small white dog. And the man is like, the main character, you hear the voiceover of the main character. So you hear so the voiceover in this movie is very important. And the voiceover says, the voiceover, wow, this is hard. All right.
I'm into it though.
All right. So the man who's holding over the building is like, who the fuck are you? And the shot zooms in on our main character and he goes, my name is Cut.
All right. Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Just so I'm with you.
Yeah.
Niggas holding a nigga on a tie with a tie on a ledge?
Oh, over a ledge.
Over a high rise, right?
Yeah.
And then it shows our lead main character. He looks crazy. Disheveled Asian man.
Yeah.
Asian
man.
Korean.
All Korean.
Older?
Yes. Old.
Okay.
Older. Like late 40s. Maybe?
And he's holding a white dog?
No, the guy over the ledge, is also holding a dog.
And then the dude, which dude says
So the dude who's being held over the building is like, he's like scared for his life, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
And then the main character goes, "My name is Cut."
Oh man. Okay, keep going.
Right.
Holy fuck.
All right, we're now in a flashback, right? You see the main character. He's younger. He looks healthier. He doesn't look crazy, but he's wasted. They're in a police station. He's wasted. He's fucked up, like disheveled. And he has like one of his noses is bleeding a lot, and he has like a tissue up there, and you can just tell he's just like this alcoholic drunk guy. But he's having fun. It's pretty funny. He hits on some dude's girl. Right? There's just a bunch of different shots of him being fucked up. He has to be calmed down. He tries to take a pee in the lobby, and he shows the officers a picture of his daughter, and he tells them it's his birthday. It's her birthday. And then he shows the officers a pair of angel wings he brought as a present for her daughter, right? And he puts them on and does like this weird, funny little dance and song, right? And then he tries to pee again, and then they calm him down, and he just gets crazier and crazier, and then his shirt's finally off, right? Finally.
Is he in good shape?
No. He's like an alcoholic guy. You know what I mean? He has an alcoholic body, just very portly. Finally, his friend picks him up, right? And So while he's in the station, you find out his name is Odesu.
Odesu.
So I'll be calling him Desu from here on out. Desu,
Okay.
right?
Odesu.
That's his name, right? Finally, his friend comes and picks him up, and then Desu tells the officer, "Hey, I'll see you soon." And the officer's like, "We don't want you back." And he's like, "Well, that's up to me, asshole," right? And he just runs out. He's a funny drunk guy.
Yeah.
Right. So the next scene, we're in a payphone in the rain. Right? It goes from that to a payphone in the rain, and Desu is calling his daughter, Yunhee. And he wishes her a happy birthday, and I got you a present. He has the wings, right? And that his friend Juhwan, his name is Juhwan, bailed him out of jail, so he'll be home soon. And he gets really drunk, so he puts Juhwan on the phone, right? So here's the shot, right? We're outside the payphone. Juhwan is on the phone with Desu's daughter, and then Desu's daughter gives it to Desu's wife. So he's talking to Desu's wife, telling him, "Hey, I'll bring Desu home soon. Sorry, he just got a little drunk," right? The shot is of him, and you see Desu behind him playing in the rain. Now, while Juhwan is talking to Desu's wife on the phone, the camera slowly pans around until you only see Juhwan in the telephone booth, and the camera is where Desu would be standing, right? So it turns like that during the whole conversation, right? So Desu's wife on the phone says, let me talk to Desu, let me talk to my husband. Juhwan goes to hand him the phone, and Desu is gone.
The main character's gone.
Juhwan looks for him, right? The shot pans up, so it's above Juhwan. Juhwan runs off screen. You see a bunch of umbrellas, right, from the top. The umbrellas leave because there are people in umbrellas because it's raining, and one umbrella lingers for just a little too long. And then it finally moves. And you see the little angel wings that he bought for his daughter because it's her birthday in a bag, and they're on the ground. Images of a bunch of clocks flash on the screen. Credits roll. Oldboy.
So fucking he's gone?
He's gone. Man, it's hard to keep your place in this. When
he
you're
doesn't
in it?
Yeah, he doesn't get like you don't know what happened. You don't know.
You don't know how you don't know who took him. You don't know how he got took. Just gone.
And she don't know. Even though he was standing right next to her.
His friend Juhwan is a guy.
He don't know.
He don't know. He just silently just disappeared. During that shot, this is a great shot of it going around the telephone booth.
And his daughter is
on the phone.
On the phone.
Yes. His daughter's a little kid on the phone. So you don't see his daughter.
Okay.
You just know it's her birthday, and then all of a sudden he's just gone.
And he's gone. The main character's gone.
Did
not expect that. Holy fuck. Okay, keep
gone.
going.
All right.
That's fucking crazy, nigga. I didn't expect that. I was thought something about to happen to the daughter.
Oh, bro. All right.
So his partner, is that his partner who's on the who?
It's his friend.
It's just his friend.
It's just a friend. Just a friend.
And so the friend.
You said partner. He's not a cop. You can't think of him like a cop. I'm just telling you right now, not a cop.
He was in a cop office though earlier. Remember you said
he was in, but he's a drunk guy in it.
He's behind bars.
Yeah. He was like in the lobby as they were processing him.
I thought he was a cop, nigga. Damn, that's crazy.
He was a drunk. That's why he was doing all the drunk shit, like the dance with the wings and all that. Like he was just doing drunk stuff, trying to pee in the lobby.
And an umbrella lingered.
And then you see,
and then there's a bag on the floor.
And the bag has the wings that he was gonna give his daughter for her birthday present.
That the guy knows that.
What do you mean?
The guy in the phone booth, he knows it.
He didn't see it.
Oh, damn.
He didn't see it. It's just there.
So we just know.
We know. He runs off.
All right. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Okay. Holy fuck.
He runs off looking for him. Like he disappears that quickly. It's pretty crazy. All right. So Oldboy, the opening credit. We see the bottom half of an iron door, right? And this iron door has a tiny little doggy door at the bottom, right? A foot kicks open the doggy door, and Desu sticks his head out through that little tiny doggy door and goes, Sir, please, I won't ask you to let me go. Just tell me why I'm here. I've been here for 2 months already. And he looks insane. And he's like going crazy, right? And the guy slides some food in that little doggy door and then uses his feet to like sort of nudge Desu's face back into the doggy door and shuts it, right? Now we're inside the room, right? The shot goes to inside the room.
Fuck!
Yeah.
That's fucking dark, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you think that's dark?
Yeah, I think that's dark.
Welcome to this movie. You're
Now I'm with him. I'm in there with him, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, you ain't telling me I'm in a box. I'm surviving though, which means I'm that nigga.
Yeah.
Somehow.
For 2 months. Well,
2 months?
You're getting fed. And so we see the room that he's in, and it's like a hotel room almost. Looks like a hotel room. There's
Not
like,
a chamber.
No, it's like
Okay.
there's like an open bathroom area, like a bathroom without a door or walls, and then a bed, a wallpaper, a TV, and this like weird picture on the wall.
Of?
You'll see.
Okay.
But there's a weird picture on the wall, right? And Desu is like banging against the wall. Tell me how long I'll be in your asshole. He's just going crazy. He's like tossing his food, and just making a lot of noise, right?
Yeah. God damn, man. Desu.
And then so he's going crazy, right? And there's a voiceover that says, the voiceover is very somber, very gritty. If they told me I was going to be in there for 15 years, would it have made it easier to endure? Or could I have not?
Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
Fade to black.
15. Okay.
15 years. He's in there for 15 years. Now, I should mention the voiceover. I want to mention earlier. So the voiceover, the whole time, it goes from him talking and the voiceover, and it's like all sort of jumbled throughout the whole sort of movie. And the way the voiceover talks is like past tense. Like the voiceover knows everything that's happened, but it's his voice. All right.
Okay.
So he is the narrator of this story.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I'm trying to say.
God damn.
Yeah. It's fade to black. So now the next shot shows the bottom of that weird painting. Right. We open back in on him, and the bottom it's like it says, "Laugh and the world laughs with you." There's like stuff written there. Laugh and the world laughs with you. Weep, and you weep alone. Right? And you pan up, and the painting is like of a devil guy going like this, like. Right? And then we switch to Desu, who's looking at the painting, and he's like copying the face.
Oh my
And
God.
it's just creepy as fuck. And his hair is even longer, and he's just clearly more crazy.
Laugh and the world laughs with you.
Weep
and you weep alone. God damn.
All right. Then a recording starts playing a melody, and it kind of sounds like those old school ringtones, like a kid's little melody on a kid's toy, dee, 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 right? And when the melody plays, the voiceover says, when the melody plays, that's when they pipe in the gas. So the melody plays, and they pipe in the gas, and it passes out.
He passes out.
Passes out, right?
Okay.
The gas knocks him out. And he knows when it's coming because the melody plays. So it's like, okay, this is when it's coming, right? When he's asleep, two guys come in, like covered in like head to toe in like gloves and like medical scrubs. Just try not to contaminate the room. They clean the room. They bag up a cup that he's been drinking from, and they take his blood. Right? Next scene. He's watching TV. He's up again. He's watching TV and just muttering crazy shit about nothing.
What's he watching on TV?
Just scrolling through the channels.
Okay.
Right? And he goes, I won't eat spinach. I won't eat spinach. I'll never eat spinach. Just saying crazy shit, right? He lands on a news story about his wife being murdered, stabbed in the neck. Police suspect Desu. Right? Now, while he's saying that, Desu looks down at his arm, and there's like this thing crawling in his arm. This thing, right? And it burrows out of him, and it's an ant. And he's hallucinating. He's hallucinating these ants, right? Back to the news story. They say they find blood at the scene of his. Police suspect Desu. They say they found his blood at the scene and a glass with his fingerprints on it. And you see the screen, and it's the glass that the guys just picked up from his room.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So he's watching this on live television?
Yeah, he's watching him. The guys just frame him for his wife's murder, right? The news shows Desu's face as a suspect, and then Desu starts screaming, ah, ah, and then ants are just crawling over his face, all over his face, and he's screaming, bro, no shit, exactly like Jesus for Passion of the Christ. Just ants everywhere.
Oh, fuck.
And then you hear, boom, crashing mirror sound. And he he banged his head against the mirror, and he's passed out, and the two guys are dragging him away. Then the voiceover says, 3 years, many wrinkles had appeared on his face. That's how long he's been in at this time. Mm-hmm. He talks about How you feeling, buddy?
Keep going with you. I'm still with you. I don't need a break yet.
All right. He talks about how when you're in there, you get really close to your TV. It's your school, your home, your church, your friend, and your lover. And he's watching like these girls dance and sing, and he's just like, and he's like touching it, and I think he's jerking off. Possible he's not. I think that's meant to be, artist interpretation. The director was like, we gotta let people imagine.
I'm gonna go with jerking off, baby.
Yeah,
I vote jerk off.
You know what it's like with this? It's very like a Inception top. Like, is he jerking off? Is he not?
That's a sign of a good movie, baby.
Like the movie could have ended right there. You'd be
more
like,
porn
was he
should do
jerking
that.
off? Yeah.
More porn should use that artistic tactic.
And then he doesn't get to come though because the song is too short.
Vicious.
And then we hear glass break again, and he's being dragged away, but this time he's covered in blood, so he tries to kill himself because he doesn't get to come. Yeah, he's going through it, dude.
He tried to kill himself. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
They don't let him.
No.
Okay.
No, they keep him alive.
They need him alive.
They need him alive. Yeah. There's a notebook in there. There's like a desk with a notebook. And so he starts writing down all the people he thinks in his life he could have hurt. And he has to fill a couple of journals because it turns out I was kind of shitty.
So he's a piece of shit. I figured that.
Yeah. He was not a good dude. Not a good dude.
I didn't think he would be.
Next scene, he's punching a wall with his hands. And he looks more fit. Right? And while he's punching a wall, you see outside the cell for the first time. And there's a guy sitting on a chair, like as a guard, reading a newspaper. And there's a bunch of cells around him. And he looks back like, what's that noise? And the dude is just punching the wall, right? And he drew like a fake man on the wall too. So he's punching a man that he drew on the wall. And his knuckles are fucked up. Like he's just fucking bleeding. There's blood all over the walls. Just punching it. Right? He uses the end of the notebook and tattoos a tally mark for each year he's been in. Right? And he says, when I started doing this, I had to give myself 6 immediately. Right? He gets like food. They feed him like dumplings and shit. Like that's what they feed him, right? And one day he gets 3 chopsticks. And he goes, man, I wonder what guy in the other cell has only 1 right now. I feel sorry for him. He takes the chopstick and starts carving out the wall. Finally. So he has something because he has an extra chopstick, he has something to carve.
Yeah.
It's like brick. It's a brick wall that's in his room, right? After 9 years, he's able to pry 1 brick out. So he's 9 years in, he's able to pry his first brick out. 10 years in, and he's just watching, like, boxing matches, right? 11 years in, the hole is enough for his upper body to get through, right? So he's, right?
He's Shawshank Redemption in this shit.
He's shot, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's very Shawshank. In fact, when I wrote this down, I originally wrote spoon. And then I was like, oh, no, I just added that when I was writing. It was a chopstick. It was definitely a chopstick. He would not have a spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very Shawshank Redemption.
It sounds like it. That's dope.
Yeah. And so when so what it is like, so he finally gets his upper body out.
What's it look like, by the way?
What?
The visual. I'm trying to just see it in my head.
Okay. So he's prying. So you see it from the other side of the wall as he's prying out. So the first brick, you see the other
What year
side
is
of the
this
wall.
now?
This is 9 years in. So 9 years in, you see the other side of the wall. And so outside of his cell, it's his wall. The brick wall where he's carving out, like maybe 2 feet, and then another wall, right? So this is a tiny little hallway area. So you see him pry the brick out from the hallway, and then at 11 years in, when the hole is big enough for his upper body to get out of, the shot is from the top, and you see his upper body lean out the hole.
Wow.
Yeah. 15 years in. So now we're 15 years in.
Is it letting you know this?
Yeah, he's saying it. He's saying 15 years.
Okay. Does he look different?
They like grooming him. He's like more fit but more crazy.
Okay.
And he has crazy hair, but the hair is not the crazy.
How have they come in and not notice the hole in the wall?
15 years in, he's able to cut out a brick on the second wall, and you see the brick finally fall out, and it's the outside. And he's a bunch of stories up, and it's raining. Puts his hand out. It's the first time he feels water and fresh air in 15 years. So he's just taking the water and just and he's like moving. His movements are very jumpy. They're like, he's crazy, dude. He's fucking crazy. This dude's crazy now, right? Just wiping himself up with water, right? The melody starts playing that the gas is about to come in. He's about to pass out. So he comes back in, and the hole is covered up by his bed, so you can't see the hole from where, And so the melody's playing. He's about to pass out. They're passing the guy. They're piping the gas in. And he's going, 1 month, 1 month. I'll be out in 1 month. 1 month. I'll be out in 1 month. 1 month. I'll be out in 1 month. 1 month. 1 month. Just 1 more month. 1 more month and I'll be out. Out in 1 month. You know, like just.
He's saying this to himself or out loud?
He's saying it to himself out loud. And also the voiceover is saying it. Like I said, it's all really jumbled together. It's not, because you know what's crazy? Sometimes the voiceover is him talking about it from like the future and talking about what happened, but sometimes the voiceover is him what he's feeling in the moment.
Yeah.
And you never know when. This whole movie, you're kind of like, what the fuck? Nothing is right. Nothing ever feels right.
I love it.
Yeah. You're always just kind of like, what the fuck is it? It always makes you uneasy. Mm-hmm. All right. Passes out. We're 1 month, right? As soon as the gas stops, the door opens. A woman in heels comes down, sits down in bed, and sits down in bed. And now you see, she gets her up. You see it from like his perspective, and like, you know, his eyes are sort of opening, and she's like, this is sort of like woman, right? Just like maybe in her 40s, right? And she hypnotizes him. Does this, right? Intense orchestral music starts playing, right? Hypnotizes him, and you know, she goes, "You're in a field. You're in a field." And his head moves to the side because he's being hypnotized, and it transitions to a field. The transitions in this movie are insane. They're hard to describe, but like the shots meld into each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So like when it like half the shots to the next shot and half the shots to the previous shot. So you your grip on reality is sort of, as you transition, is sort of like warped, right? In a field, right? And there's green grass in like a field. You see a suitcase. And the suitcase is wiggling, and it falls, and it opens, and Desu falls out.
He's tripping.
No, he's out.
Of a suitcase.
Yeah, so you see the suitcase in the field. So they put him in a suitcase, and he's in this field. Right? And he wakes up, and it's not a field. He's actually on a roof. He's like on this field on this rooftop. Right? The small little grass area on this rooftop, right? So he's on the rooftop. He's wearing like a suit and watch. He doesn't know where he got it. And he sees the man with the small dog that started the movie on the roof with him. And the man with the dog is about to jump off and kill himself. And he goes over to the guy. He goes over to the guy, right? He's like, the guy's like, don't come near me. I want to die. He goes over to the guy and he uses his, like Desu goes over to the guy who's like standing on the ledge ready to kill himself. And he goes like that with his head, just touching him with his head. Because it's the first human contact he has in 15 years. He's like touching him.
So he's really out. This isn't.
No, he's really out. He's actually
They
out.
put him out.
They put him out. They hypnotized him, knocked him out, put him out.
On this roof. So he's
on
just
this
on a
roof. He's on a roof, right? And you find out in the voiceover that the roof is above the alley where he got taken from.
Crazy.
Yeah. So he's touching, but he goes over to this guy who's about to kill himself and just touching him with his head. Just, just feeling contact and being all weird and just all touchy. Right? And Desu says to the guy, even though I'm not more than a beast, don't I have the right to live? He says it to the guy, and the guy nods and then jumps off the roof, right? But Desu grabs the tie, saving him. And we're at the opening scene of the movie.
Dope.
So the opening scene of the movie is he's saving a guy's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while he's holding him, he says, delay your death. Let me tell you a story. And the guy with the dog's like, okay. So he pulls him back over, and we fade to the two are sitting on the roof, and Desu had just finished telling him his entire life story.
So it's ending on where we're at.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So we still don't know shit about Desu.
No, we know nothing about him except he was a drunk guy.
With a daughter.
With a daughter, yes.
And his wife is dead.
And he's framed for his wife's murder.
We know that much.
Yeah.
And they let him out.
They let him out.
He's out. Is he out or he's just on the roof? Or is he out?
He's on the roof, but he's out. He's not in the cell anymore.
So he can go off the roof and go back to the real world if he wants to.
Well, we're about to see it happen.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, so Desu's finishing telling him his whole life story, right? So the guy who just said his life he saved says, oh, now I see. Now let me tell you my story. And Desu immediately gets up and walks away.
That's funny.
Like he didn't hear it, right? And the guy goes, the reason I want to kill myself. And Desu doesn't give a shit. He just ignores him. And
That's funny.
Yeah. This movie will make you laugh at points. Because something's like, that's pretty funny. Next shot. Oh, this is really funny. Next shot. We're in an elevator going down, and there's a woman in there, and she's like freaked out and not happy, and she's looking. And then you see Desu at the corner of the elevator just... First time he's seen a woman in 15 years. First time he's been in the same room as a woman in 15 years. She's not like terribly attractive either, right? And then the shot is of from outside the elevator shaft above it as the elevator goes down. And Desu is just coming really loud. Yeah, dude. If I think about it, probably one of the best orgasms he's ever had.
15 years,
15
bro.
years. Didn't even have to touch her.
It's fucking terrifying. It's fucking terrifying.
God, you know, that's just like, man, if I hadn't been around a woman in 15 years, I could see that. That's pretty wild, right?
Oh, keep going.
Okay.
I'm with it.
Okay.
I'm with this shit.
So
I'm
we're
with this
downstairs
fucked
now
up
where he's walking outside. He's walking away from the apartment complex, right? And he has these sunglasses on. Behind him, the woman in the elevator is explaining to the door guy what happened as he's walking away, right? And so she convinces the door guy to go stop him right in the background, right? And as the door guy walks towards him, boom! The guy he saved earlier jumps off the roof, lands on the car next to him. So he kills himself. He ends up killing himself. Desu doesn't turn back around. All you hear, you see Desu's face, and his voiceover goes, "Laugh, and the world laughs with you. Weep, and you weep alone." And then he smiles, really creepy, and just keeps walking.
My nigga is on a mission.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Go ahead, man. This is dope.
Next shot, he's walking, and he notices like this gang of young dudes hanging out, and he walks up to them and steals one of their cigarettes, and then they kick him to the ground, and they're like, "Oh, you fucking dick shit," whatever, right? And he talks about cursing. And he takes a drag of the cigarette while laying on the ground because they pushed him over, gets up, and goes, "I wonder if years of like theoretical training can be put into practice." And then he kicks their ass 1-on-5.
Are they young kids or are they like teenagers?
They're like teenagers. They're like early 20s.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
They're like guys at their who are in their peak confident fighting skills. You
And
feel what I
he-
mean? And he just
Are they doing karate?
they're doing some kind of martial art for sure.
And he's doing martial arts.
Oh, he's doing. They're like attacking him, but he's doing like martial arts. It's like sort of martial arts that he taught himself, stuck in the
15 years of
15
just
years of just training.
every day.
Yeah, and the shot is dope. It's like it's sweeping.
Is he fucking it up, like killing him?
No, it's like almost Bruce Lee fighting. It goes like one at a time almost.
Yeah.
But you only see him. It's a quick shot. You only see him fight the first three, but he kicks their ass. It's like that.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, it's it was a really dope scene. Next scene, he's like, that Asian squad that the Asian guys do where they're like really down. Yeah, he's doing that and he's watching a fish tank. And this homeless guy, the Asian squad. This homeless guy like squats down next to him, hands him a phone and a wallet, and says, "Don't ask me anything. I know nothing." So Desu takes the phone and takes the wallet, has a bunch of cash in it. Next, he's in a sushi restaurant.
Who is fucking with this nigga, man?
That's the question, it seems. He's in a sushi restaurant next, right? And the chef is this like cute girl, right? And she asks for Desu what he wants, and he says, "I want something alive." And the chef says, "Hey, you look familiar." And Desu goes, "You look familiar too." And he realizes, "Oh, I saw you on TV. She's the best young female chef in Japan." And he thought it was weird because women's hands are too warm to be sushi chefs. And the way Desu talks is he talks like this, right? And he always looks down. It's almost Batman-y, very gritty, right? Sushi chef, right? And she laughs, right? And the phone rings. Intense music starts playing. Man on the other line, really calmly, Do you like your clothes? Why did you imprison me?" And the sushi chef hears, and now she's listening like, "Whoa, what the fuck? What's going on over here?" Right? The guy on the phone has him try to guess who he is, and Desu yells out a bunch of names, and he's wrong to everyone, and now everyone in the restaurant is looking at him. Right? The man on the phone says, "Who am I? I'm a scholar studying Odesu." He tells him, "Review your whole life to figure out who I am. I miss you. Hurry up and come to me." Chef comes back with his food, and it's just a straight up live octopus. It's a live octopus. And I looked it up, they use real life octopus for this. He grabs it and just tears that dude's heads off with his teeth.
And eats it.
Just eats him, and the tentacles are all like, just moving and shit, and then he's slurping the tentacles up like noodles while they're just moving, right? And she's like weirdly into it, She's like, this is this guy, right? And she goes, "I must be a different breed of woman. My hands are very cold, you see." And she touches him, and his voiceover goes, "What's with this woman?" Poof. passes out.
He passes out?
He passes out.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I keep passing out.
Oh, yeah. Cut to Desu, and he's waking up in the sushi chef's home. Right?
This bitch is involved. Keep going.
Yeah. She's reading his entire journal. The journals he wrote? He grabbed those. They left him on the roof with him, right? When they let him out, and he grabbed those, and she's finished reading the second one. So she's read it all. So she knows her entire life story. His entire life story. And she goes, "Is this true?" And then he grabs the journals away from her, right? And he's in his underwear because, he's like passed out. And his hair's all crazy. He looks insane. Grabs the journals and sort of hides them, She sort of laughs, and she goes to the kitchen, grabs a knife, goes to the bathroom.
Wait, the journals from him being...
Remember when he wrote down everything he did in his life? He read those. They left him on the roof with him. And she read those. She read all of them. So she knows his life story. She goes to the kitchen, grabs a knife, and goes to the bathroom. And before she hops in, she says, "The bathroom door's lock is broken, so don't get any bright ideas." Right? She goes in the toilet, and he immediately runs in and tries to kiss her and put his hand under her dress, basically tries to rape her. And she's punches him off, and then he's gets all ashamed, and he leaves the bathroom, and then he grabs all his stuff, and he says, I gotta go. That's so shameful what I did. And she's like, "I get why you did that. And I do," and she does like him. She said, "I like you, but we know nothing about each other. My name is Mito." All right, so her name is Mito. And later, she says she will definitely be ready to fuck him.
Okay.
She definitely will have sex with him. And she swears on her life, actually, that it's going to happen. She says when she sings a song that she read in his journal called "The Face I Miss," when she sings that song, that means she'll be ready. And after she sings that song, even if she resists in the moment, no matter what, don't back out. Just give it to me. Like that. Just give it to me.
That's what she says.
Yeah. Yeah. No matter what, just give it to me. That's what she says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird turn.
Yeah, right? Yeah, like I said, this is a very weird movie. Mm-hmm. She talks to them about the story. The story about the ants, because she read about the ant thing that happened to him.
Ooh, yeah.
Right? She says, lonely people see ants, but she's never seen an ant before. Lonely people hallucinate ants, but she's never hallucinated an ant before. And you see a flashback, a transition to a flashback of her life, and she's on a train by herself, just crying, bawling her eyes out, like a teenager, just bawling her eyes out. And she looks over on the train, empty car, and there's just a huge ant sitting there. She's lying to him. She's very lonely.
Bitch.
Right? Already starting off this relationship. You go through his stuff, and then you lie to him?
Yeah, she's all over the place.
Yeah.
What's her name? Me too?
Mito.
All right.
Yeah, and then you have to go to the bathroom with a knife. That's really weird. Very weird person.
Intense.
You know what? That's a good thing to
She
describe
hot?
this movie as. Intense. She's cute.
Okay.
She's not like hot.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so she's in the train carriage and she wipes away tears from remembering that story, and then she cuddles with him.
Okay.
Right. And he's like weird. He doesn't really know how to cuddle, so he's like, "What?" Next, we're in a shop, and we see an old lady talking about Desu's daughter. She's the last living relative. Right. She says his daughter lives in Switzerland. She has no idea Desu is even accused of killing her mom.
Who is she talking to? Desu?
And we look up, and the lady is talking to Mito, who's posing as a reporter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and she gives Mito a slip of paper. The slip of paper contains a map to Desu's wife's grave and his daughter's name, Eva van Lundberg. Right? And an address on the back with a telephone number. And Mito asks if he's going to find his daughter. He asked Desu, "Are you going to find your daughter?" And he says, "After I kill the guy who imprisoned him first." So he puts it off for later.
Finding his daughter.
Mm-hmm. Cut to he's at a Chinese restaurant eating dumplings. And we flash back to a scene of him back in prison, right? A scene that happened a few years ago. He's eating dumplings, and he sees a slip of paper, and he sees that the dumplings he's eating in prison are from this place called Something Blue Dragon, right? So now we see a montage, pretty much, of him going to different dumpling places that had the name Blue Dragon in the
I
title.
love this guy. Keep going.
Yeah.
Get that revenge, bro.
So he's going to different Blue Dragons to find out dumplings, and he isn't successful, right? So they're back at Mito's place, and he's looking over the list of the restaurants, crossing them off, And Mito's in this video chat room with someone on the computer. And you can't see the guy's face. You can see Mito's, you can't see the guy's face. And Desu goes over to see what Mito's doing. And as soon as he gets in frame, as soon as he can see him in camera, the guy messages, "How's life in the bigger prison, Desu?" And Desu's like, Mito, he has Mito ask who he is. And the man replies, "The lonely prince in a high tower." Locks off. So the chat is over. And Desu turns to Mito.
Bigger prison.
Yeah. Desu turns to, Desu turns to Mito, really angry, like, "Who was that?" And she goes, "I don't know. This guy just started messaging me a few before I met you. And we just talked a couple times." And Desu's like real angry. He's like, "I can't trust you." Right? So he leaves, right? We find Desu in a restaurant called the Magic Blue Dragon. And then, literally the next scene, he walks in, and the next scene, he's chasing delivery guy. And his voiceover is like, "Why did they choose this one? There's so many more closer to the place." So we found the place, right? Goes up. He catches up with the delivery guy at the elevator. He goes up an elevator, and he opens the door. And it's, remember I told you how there was a man sitting outside? And it's that. So he's at the place. He's at the prison. And the dude turns around, and Desu has the claw end of the hammer to his head.
Like he kills him?
Let's see. All right. And the guy, and the guy in the chair like slowly goes for a knife, and Desu just smiles, right? We cut to a guy, he's in a room on a laptop, and there's 16 screens behind him. And each of them has a video of a room exactly like Desu's, right? You hear a bone crunching sound outside. And now cut to Desu's in the room, hands on the security camera, like laying on the security cameras. And the guy is in the chair behind him, the prison warden, and he's like taped up in a weird way. So it's like his taped to the chair, hands and feet, and then his mouth is taped open with duct tape, right? And Desu, he goes, "Hey, you dick shit, why was I imprisoned here?" Right? And the guy tells him they run a private prison that you can pay to have someone imprisoned. So
at this restaurant.
No, so no, not at the restaurant. The restaurant is where they got their food delivered from. So he chases the delivery guy.
Oh, and then he found out where.
He found by just chasing around the delivery guy till he took him to the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So but it's a private prison, and you just pay some dude. So it's like highly illegal, but you know what it is, right? And all their client info is kept secret, and so he can't talk, right? So Desu has him tied with his mouth open. He goes, "I'm going to pay you back for my 15 years. And then with the claw end of his hammer, one by one, takes out the dude's teeth. And you see when the first teeth gets taken out, the first teeth, you see the first tooth get taken out, and it's nuts.
Get him, dog.
How you liking it so far?
Loving Desu, bro. Ripping this niggas. You watch me 15 years, bro. Yeah, I gotta give you something, my nigga.
Yeah, right.
I gotta give you. You ain't getting at it. I don't give a fuck if this is your job, nigga. You watched me personally for 15 years.
And you're making money off of it. Not even that, you're making.
Wait, so the guy's just screaming, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he just takes them all out. Okay.
No, he takes out about 6 teeth before the guy finally talks. And he gives Desu like a tape recorder of the guy who paid to have Desu in prison. He never saw the guy. It happened all over the phone.
Okay.
So he still doesn't know like who he is. Right. Now, so he gets the tape recorder, and then we just immediately cut to Desu's in the hallway. He has a knife to the prison warden's neck, and he has the claw hand of the hammer out.
The guy with the no teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? He has a knife to his neck. You know, Desu's holding him hostage pretty much. We turn around, and in this small hallway, just packed with people with weapons.
What kind of weapons?
Like sticks and like metal pipes.
No guns.
No guns, 1 or 2 knives. Right? Like a one knife.
And they're all guys that work for the prison warden.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's the only. It's like, imagine it's a narrow hallway. So this guy's just, I want to say 16 to 18 guys in front of him, right?
Okay.
Narrow hallway. Only way out is the elevator on the other side, right? All Desu has is a hammer and a knife.
This sounds like it's about to be the baddest scene of all, most badass scene. Okay.
No, and then they just talk it out.
I'm getting hard. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they talk it out. So after the they just really hash out their differences.
Huh.
And then what if this turned into like a Pride and Prejudice?
I'll say this roller coaster ride just feel like it turned into Small World.
All right. So Desu goes, hey, who here is blood type AB? And two of the guys raise their hand. And he goes, the warden's lost a lot of blood. Take him. So he throws the warden back to them, and the two guys who are his blood type go and take the warden to hospital or whatever, right? So there's still like 14 to 16 guys.
Wait, he lets the guy live.
Oh, yeah. There's still like 14.
He lets the guy live. Why does he let the guy live?
Because he doesn't give a fuck. Because in his mind, the warden is not the one who put him in prison. He's just the guy paid.
He just needs the guy.
He wants to kill the guy who put him there.
He was just like, I'm gonna fuck you up until you.
Yeah, I don't give a. That's how much he doesn't give a fuck about him, really.
Wow, that's dope.
Right?
Okay.
So there's like 60.
So the warden is like, did he say like kill him or anything, or he just goes?
No, the warden's fucked up. He's lost a lot of blood. So, but there's 16 guys still in front of Desu, right?
Okay.
Desu then drops the knife, hammer out, goes and runs at the guys, right? And let me explain the shot to you.
Drops the knife?
Drops the knife, right? So I told you it's in a narrow hallway, right? So the shot is from sideways, right? So imagine if one of the hallway walls were gone,
okay,
and you were just a little bit back, and you were just watching. You were the wall. That's the perspective. You're one of the walls, right? So it's Desu's on this side, elevator's on this side, 16 guys.
And you're one of the walls.
And you're one of the walls, and the whole fight is a single shot.
Amazing.
So it like slides up and down the wall with him. You know, like the Daredevil shot and the
True Detective?
and Raid 2.
Oh.
Maybe not. Maybe True Detective in a way, but
I'm
like
thinking a single shot.
You know how Daredevil was in a hallway?
Yeah.
I think it was based on this shit. Because when I watched it in Daredevil, I was like, old boy.
Yeah, because all the Daredevil shots are so fucking amazing.
Yeah. So 1 versus 16, and bro, the fight is dope. He takes guys out. Right, he ducks. He ducks under things. Hits people with a hammer. Hits people with the claw. Right, claw and just hitting people. He gets fucked up. He gets stabbed at one point. One point he's on the ground and gets stabbed, and he picks the guy up and pushes a whole pile of them back. At least 12 of them. So basically, he's on this side of the hallway, right, and he works his way to the elevator where he's on the elevator side and all 16 are behind him. You know what I mean? So he fucks them up and he doesn't kill any of them. They're all crawling. They're all trying to get back up and fight him, and he's just fucking beating their asses. Right? He finally beats the 16 in the hallway, right?
Is he killing them?
He's not killing them, but they're fucked up. They're like maimed as shit. Yeah. He's not killing any of them. He hits the elevator button. The elevator button dings, opens, and there's 7 guys with weapons in the elevator. Cut to.
Desu!
Cut to. The elevator doors open downstairs, where he met up with the delivery boy. They open, and the 7 guys with the elevator's bodies just fall out, and Desu just steps over them.
Amazing.
He drops the hammer. He pulls out the knife, and he's in an underground garage.
Pulls out a knife?
Someone hit him with a knife. And remember I told you he pulls out the knife in his back, walks up. He's like in an underground parking garage, and he walks up out of it. And now he's just outside, just like bloody as shit, and he's stumbling, and the camera's all wavy because he's fucked up, And he has his voiceover, and his voiceover he says, "When this vengeance is over, can I even go back to the old Desu?" And his phone rings, and he passes out in the street as he's crossing in the middle of the street. And this bystander, so he's passed out in the middle of the street, and as he's following this bystander with this really weird hat, catches him, his hat is really weird, right? And he goes, "Mister, what happened to you?" And Desu doesn't respond, right? Desu hails a cab, puts Desu, the bystander, the pedestrian, hails a cab, puts Desu in the back seat, and he tells the cab driver to take him to some random apartment number. And Desu says, "Thank you." And the pedestrian leans his head in the back seat, looks up so you can finally see his hat, his face. Looks like this really young guy, really young, good-looking guy, and says, "No problem, oh Desu," and walks off, and the cab leaves. Right, and Desu looks back and sees his face as just this young, thin, tall guy, right?
With a weird hat.
With a weird hat.
What kind of hat?
Asian man.
Like an Asian man hat?
No, not like the cones, but you'll see the hat and you're like, oh, that's really Asian. That's the only way I can describe it. It's it's kind of wavy. It's like a cap that's wavy all around. It's really weird, dude. It's really weird.
But we see the bad guy for the first time.
Yes. Or do you?
Well, he says, "Oh, Desu."
Oh, Desu. Is he like the homeless guy, someone who's paid?
Damn, bro.
To
This
say
is
that
too
shit. We find out that the apartment that he tells him to go back to is Mito's apartment, right? So he's at Mito's apartment, bandaged up. And he wakes up and he sees that he's bandaged up and sees her sleeping and kind of laughs. And now we see someone taking pictures from an apartment across the street, taking pictures of him. So the perspective is you see through the camera and you click, just taking pictures of him, right? Let's see.
They're taking pictures of him.
Desu plays the tape he got from the prison dude. You know how he got the tape from the prison dude? On the tape, he hears the prison guy say to his captor, talking about the terms of his imprisonment, and the prison warden asks, why 15 years? And his captor says, "Oh, Desu talks too much." Right? And then we switch back to the perspective of the guy taking pictures of him. And then the guy taking pictures says, you don't see his face, you just hear his voice. And he goes, "Go to sleep. Time to meet Ju Huan in the internet cafe tomorrow." Cut. Next scene, Desu is walking down into an internet cafe, underground, right? His friend from earlier, the guy who got him out of prison, his name is Ju Huan again. They hug, he sees him and they hug, and he works at this like internet with a bunch of computers. It's downstairs, kind of grimy, right? Desu shows Ju Huan the tape, and Ju Huan says, "I have no idea who could this be. I don't recognize this voice," right? They log into Mito's messenger account, right, with the video messenger she was using, and they get a message from someone, Alex Evergreen, or at Evergreen something, right? So the Evergreen pops up, right? And the message says, "Congratulations, Desu, for your case being dismissed." So this case against him murdering his wife, I guess that got dismissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. The wife thing never really comes up in this movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right? It's just a crazy detail that never comes up.
I'm waiting for that to come back to play.
Yeah. I'll just tell you now, don't. So when the guy who's talking to them is typing, you hear the bad guy's voice, right? Instead of like typing like this. And we see the pedestrian in the weird hat. He's not in a hat this time. He's dressed sharp. And he's in this crazy rich loft apartment. Like crazy rich. Like he's got moats and shit. And he looks super like a billionaire type rich dude, right? With moats in it. And he's rich. And he's not typing what the guys are, what's being typed to Mitu, what's being typed to Desu. He's dictating it. And another Asian dude with white hair is typing it into the messenger.
Interesting.
So that's how he's communicating with him, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like, "Hey, can you, like, I'll see you soon." He says, "I'll see you soon," ends the conversation, right? Next, we see Mitu is tied up, and Desu is like standing over her with a hand on his neck, because she was talking to this guy earlier, so he does not trust her, right? He asked her who Evergreen is, and while she says, "I don't know," and then Ju Huan calls and says he's able to track down the name and address of the guy behind the Evergreen account, and the guy's name is Su Deo. And he tracks down the address to where the dude lives, and it's the apartment right across the street, right? The one where the dude was taking pictures from, right? So Desu runs across the street, right? Opens the door for the apartment, and the lights don't work. We see a hand click a button, and music starts playing throughout the apartment, right? All dark, and Desu walks into the living room, and the pedestrian dude that saved him, and the Asian dude with the white hair are standing there waiting for him.
The billionaire guy.
Yeah. And he says hi to Desu.
Is his apartment so dark?
Oh yeah, it's dark the whole scene. And but the pedestrian goes, okay. The pedestrian now gives Desu the terms of the game. He says, "Hi Desu, let me give you the terms." He's like, "Let me give you the terms of the game." Right? Desu has 5 days. It's until July 5th. So they're like June 30th. 5 days to figure out why he was in prison and who I am. Who the pedestrian is. If he succeeds, the pedestrian guy will kill himself. If he doesn't, Mito is going to die.
Who's Mito?
The girl.
Uh-huh.
The girl he just tied up. She's going to die if he doesn't. And then the pedestrian goes, "I will kill all the women you love, one by one."
His daughter.
Desu runs.
Desu runs out?
No. Desu runs towards the pedestrian and grabs his neck. And is about to take a knife to him, and the pedestrian reminds him, "If you kill me now, you'll never figure out why you were in prison, and you'll be wondering all your life." So Desu drops a knife and goes and grabs a hammer to do the tooth torture, right? And the pedestrian says, it's not necessary to torture me. And he reveals a pacemaker. Like, he reveals to Desu that he has a pacemaker in his heart to keep his thing going. And he has this little button. If he clicks this button, the machine that keeps his heart going will stop and he'll die. So torturing her is not useful.
Yeah.
Right? Desu puts the hammer to the head of the pedestrian, and the pedestrian puts his hand on the remote ready to press the button to stop his heart. And he hands Desu an ultimatum. Truth or revenge? Desu doesn't kill him. And the pedestrian just taunts him and walks out of the apartment, right? Right before he leaves the door, he says, "Oh, Desu, long time no see." Closes the door behind him, right? And just leaves Desu in the room alone. Right? Beat passes. The pedestrian opens the door and goes, "Oh, by the way, hasn't she been tied up for a long time? And didn't you leave the door open?" Close the door again.
Some of the other
Mito girl, the one he just tied up. Right? Desu goes, "Oh shit." Runs back to Mito's apartment, and now Mito is tied up, but differently. Like, her hands are up. She's tied up standing up this time. Like, Desu tied her up laying down.
Yeah.
Now she's tied up standing up. Her tits are out, right? She's just in a disheveled shape. And a bunch of guys are in there with, like, knives and shit. And then he runs in, and the prison warden is there with all his fake teeth.
He's got new fake teeth?
He's got new gold fake teeth. He looks fucking crazy.
Yeah, I bet he would have been mad.
And they're like all jagged too. They don't fit well. So, like, you know, but they're gold, and it's just
I figured he'd be mad.
You know?
I forgot about him, and I'm like, oh yeah, he probably would have been a little pissed.
Mm-hmm. So Desu is brought to his knees, and the warden takes one of his teeth. He says this dope line. He goes, "You see, they say people shrivel up because they have an imagination. So do not imagine. You'll become brave, and you'll become brave as hell. Now here's the real thing." Takes a tooth out. Right? And he's about to pull another tooth out.
Is Desu screaming or no?
The first one, he's like, "Ah!" Right? You know? And he's about to take another tooth out, and Desu just starts laughing. Like crazy. Like,
oh, that face. The evil face from the painting.
It spits in his face. Right? And while he's doing that, while he's like doing this fake weird laugh and everyone's kind of weird out, he's going for a knife that he hid in his boot, right? So he in his sleeve. As he's about to grab the knife, the prison warden's phone rings. Right? The phone rings, he talks to someone, there's a knock on the door. The white-haired Asian dude, shows up with a briefcase full of money. So the warden is paid off not to touch Desu and Mito.
Continue. I'm with it.
The warden and his goons are leaving, and he hits Desu with a baseball bat first. And Desu's like, "I'll cut off your hands for touching Mito's breast." And the warden's like, "Well, then you have to cut out my tongue too," and leaves.
So he raped her. Damn. Korean movies, bro.
And then Mito is now, for first time she yells. She goes, "You trust me now?" Scene.
I can't wait to watch this fucking movie, dog. Fuck! Keep going. You gotta keep going, bro. I don't even want to. You gotta keep going.
So now, this is seen like with music playing, right? And it's like it's a bunch of intercuts. There's two separate scenes playing. One is like the pedestrian, you know, the bad guy, the billionaire guy, and the white hair guy, and they're talking about business, you know. And the other scene is Desu and Mito driving, and Mito is crying. She said, "So the dude said he really wants to kill me? Why? Is it because you love me?" Desu says nothing. And then Mito starts singing that song, the Face I Miss song.
Yeah.
You know, the song, and the song to like fuck.
Yeah. And
so while she's singing the song, it's like a cut between them two in the car and then the guy in the, you know, and the white haired guy and the pedestrian guy just sort of like talking business, right? And the song goes like this. There's no music. So the whole time there's like orchestral music playing in the background pretty much. This time it's dead silent. It's just her singing the song a cappella, just crying.
Okay.
The song is, the face I miss. My heart is only getting lonelier. The words you send with your eyes, I can feel with my hands. So many nights have passed. My heart is going to you. And as I shed my tears, your face I miss. Right? That's the but it's like it's just deeply sad song.
Uh-huh.
And it's just right? So she's finished singing the song, and the white hair guy goes up to the billionaire, right? You see that scene, and he goes, "You should relax," you know. And the billionaire guy, he goes, you know, he tells them that they're in a rental car going somewhere, so he knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Rental car going somewhere, and that he should relax. And then the billionaire guy goes, "It's hard to relax. Has Mito actually really fallen in love with Desu? Is it happening?" 4 days left.
Oh, I love this.
So 4 days left till the deadline, right? You see Mito. That's at night. So Mito and they walk into the hotel room and then they fuck.
Him and Desu. Her and
Desu, right? And it's intense sex scene. Good sex scene. It goes on for too long.
I love it.
It goes on to be like, it's like just a little too long. It's like, oh, it's gonna be over now, and then it keeps going. You know, that sort of thing. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Sort of thing.
They're both into it. The sex scene starts with her on her back.
Okay.
And she says, "This hurts, but I'm enduring it. You must know that."
Nice.
And then they just fuck, and then it's just like this, like, and then she's on top of him, you know, where like he's like sitting up and she's also sitting up, you know, and then they're just fucking.
Yeah, me too.
And they're just screaming, you know, they're right, and then it ends with after sex, he's blow drying her hair, right?
Uh-huh.
He's blow drying her hair. They laugh, and he says he's thankful.
Is his hair still long?
Kind of long. Yeah, it's still kind of long, crazy. It's not as long as it was in the thing, but it's like up to here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah. He looks crazy. And he's thankful for being in prison because his time in prison led him to Mito. And as they fall asleep, the same gas from earlier is piped into the room.
No way. No music?
Music starts playing.
The music for the gas.
No. This time, no music.
Okay.
You see the billionaire guy in the room with the gas mask. He's just laying down, just playing with Mito's body. Like tracing Mito's body with his finger. Just real creepily laying down next to her. Cut to next morning, they wake up. There's a present on the table. And inside the present is the severed hand of the prison warden.
How do you know it's the prison warden?
Because it has a ring. So the prison warden, I should mention, prison warden has this really distinctive ring on his hand.
Okay.
So it's the prison warden's hand.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's the present that the billionaire guy leaves behind. Desu was like, wait, how did he know I said this unless he realized he's bugged? So they go to the mall. They realize the bug is in his shoe. They take it out. Next scene, they're back in Mito's apartment and she's Googling Evergreen because the guy came from Evergreen, right? She's going down reading all the things, and then she comes across a thing called the Evergreen Oldboys, and it's a social club for a high school. I forgot the high school's name. I should have written it down, but for this high school. And Desu's like, wait, what? And he goes and he looks at the computer and he looks at it with her. Transition. They're at the high school. It's where Desu went to school.
Where he went to high school.
Yeah, where he went to high school. Right? So at that high school, Mito, they're in the library and they ask for the class records in 1979. Right?
Is that where he went to school?
Desu's year. Inside, he goes to the yearbook. He finds the picture of the pedestrian guy, the billionaire guy. He calls Ju Huan and says, "Do you remember anyone named Li Wu Jin?" We know the pedestrian's name. I believe Ju Huan says no, and Desu says, "Well, do you know anyone named Li Su Ah, a girl from their grade?" Right? And Ju Huan says, "Yeah, she died." And Desu goes through the yearbook looking for pictures of this girl named Li Su Ah, and they cut her all out of the yearbook because she died. They cut her face off of like the picture she's in and all that. Yeah, that's wild. That's
Who did that? The school did that?
Yeah, that's how they deal with grief, I guess, in this part of the world.
Wow.
Right? That's pretty fucked up. So we find out from Ju Huan that Li Sua died by falling into a river nearby the nearby dam, and we see a shot of Li Sua falling into the water, right? And then Ju Huan is being really crude. He's being, yeah, she found her bloated body a week later, right? And so now we switch to a shot and we see Ju-hwan on the phone. Because right now that whole conversation you're listening to over the phone.
Yeah.
But now we see Ju-hwan and he's in his internet cafe. And he's by himself, right? And, he goes, the dead girl, Julie Sua, she was a slut. She was a filthy whore who fucked everyone. And I heard she was pregnant and I can't believe I didn't get to fuck her, right? He's like being super crude, right? Pan over and we see Lee Woo-jin, the pedestrian guy, the bad guy, sitting on the other side listening to this phone call. Sitting on a computer across from him, sort of hiding, listening to this phone call.
He's hiding like the other guy doesn't see him?
The other guy doesn't see him. He can't see him over his own computer, right? It's just these rows of computers.
Yeah.
So he's on the other side of him, listening to the conversation. And Lee Woo-jin gets really mad. He opens up like the tray to the PC, takes a CD rip, breaks it in half, sneaks over to the other side where Ju-hwan is talking on the phone, and just fucking holds him by the neck and stabs the shit out of him. Just blood spraying all over the computer screen, just fucking stabbing him. Yeah, right? And then
this is piecing together in my brain.
Yeah, you hear Desu over the phone like, Ju-hwan, what's wrong? What's wrong? And then Woo-jin calms down, takes the thing and says, Desu, you have to know, my sister wasn't a slut. She was not a slut. And I wouldn't even be in this internet cafe right now if you didn't take out your bug, so Ju-hwan's death is on you. Hangs up. 3 days left. So the way they transition between days, they show the calendar, like a flip calendar. So
love it.
3 days left. We see Desu and Mito driving somewhere, right? And while they're driving, you see a cut of Lee Woo-jin, or Woo-jin, I'm just gonna call him the billionaire guy Woo-jin, and he's doing the fucking craziest yoga pose of all time. Fucking the crazy, like his body is like this, and it's like art. So his legs are in the air, and they're like behind his head on his body, and he's just on his shoulders. It's hard to describe. He looks like a crescent moon.
Oh, that's cool.
But you'll see it, and you'll be like, that's the craziest fucking yoga pose of all time.
Some Ocean's 12 shit.
Let's see. So we see Desu and Mito at a dentist's office, and they talk about the guy. They ask about, hey, did you give anyone gold teeth recently? Right? And they meet up with the prison warden, whose name is Mr. Park.
He's still alive.
He's still alive, but he's got a fake hand now.
Wow, this guy's getting fucked up.
Mm-hmm. They meet back up with him in a new private prison, right? And Mito asks, "Why are you here?" And Mr. Park turns to Desu and says, "An enemy of my enemy is my friend." Right? So Desu and Mr. Park are walking away, and Mito is like in one of the prisons, just like, what are you doing? And Desu tells Mr. Park to let her go if Desu doesn't return by July 5th. So he's imprisoning her until the date of the deadline, so she doesn't get killed. So she's imprisoning her to save her life.
But she's got to go through the imprison thing he's going through.
For 5 days, yeah.
For 5 days.
Not 15 years.
Okay.
But she has to do it for 5 days.
I don't believe it, but go ahead.
Right? 2 days left. Desu goes into a hair salon, gets a haircut, right? And the barber is Lee Sua, the girl who died, Lee Sua's friend from high school. And so he's talking to her, and she says, yeah, my friend wasn't a slut, but she did go out with someone back then. It was all rumors, but she did go out with someone back then. I just don't know who. I know who might. She calls another friend. I think her name is Shun Chim, right? And the friend on the phone said Ju-hwan knew who she was dating. So his friend that just died.
Yeah.
And she said, Desu should also know. Right? And while he's on the phone call, so while he's talking to the barber, who's Sua's friend, he's staring at her knees, right? And then her whole phone call with her friend, he's staring at her knees. And then someone comes into the barbershop, so another woman, he's staring at her knees, right? And the barbershop bell rings, and flashback starts. The flashback is Lee Sua, the girl who died, riding a bike, and Desu's looking at her knees. Young Desu is looking at her knees, right? And so now we have a flashback to Desu in high school, right? During this whole flashback, current Desu is watching it all happen. So he's there watching.
Yeah.
Right? So Sua's riding her bike, and Desu's playing on the monkey bars or whatever, and he looks ridiculous. He looks like a Dalmatian. Like, that's like the clothes he wears. It's just all like black and white. And she sits down next to him, That's the thing. And he goes, hey, what's up? She goes, oh, you're Desu, huh? I hear you're popular with the ladies. And she goes, rumor's just a rumor. And she pulls out a book. She's reading Sylvia Plath, which is an author that killed herself.
Yeah.
Right. So Desu, before she sits down, by the way, he starts smoking a cigarette. And then a nun who works at the school walks up to him and said, Desu, put out a cigarette. And Desu goes, this is my last day here. What are you going to do? Kick me out? So this is his last day then. So he's smoking a cigarette sitting next to Lee Sua. And he's like, hey, you want to smoke? And she goes, no, and then leaves. Right? Cut to Desu. He's in a classroom and he's just fucking around on the school board. Like he's doing that, the Bart Simpson thing, at the beginning. But he's like, fuck the school. I'm leaving. Fuck you guys. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right? He's just writing that over and over again. And he sees a young Lee Woo Jin, the bad guy, running. And he decides to follow him. And so now he follows him throughout the whole school. And
does that guy know he's following him or no?
No. Just sees up to. He's curious what he's up to, right? So he's following him. And the whole follow scene is like its own scene. It's like a couple minutes. And it's like, like those MC Escher paintings where there's stairwells. It's like that. It's like that's how they're following each other. Like it's like very almost Scooby-Doo like. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But it's really intense and the angles are the shots are like at a steep angle. You know what I mean? So it's like, so he sees
Lee Woo
Jin go into a classroom and he's playing around with some girl. He's taking pictures of her, right? And they chase each other around. And so he's watching him through this like crack in the window, this like hole in the window of this classroom. And turns around and it turns out he's taking pictures of his sister, Lee Sua. He's taking pictures and they're playing. And then she sits up in front of him and then he tries to lift up her skirt and goes, let me take a picture of this. And she's like, no. He's like, let me take a picture of this. No. And then he puts his camera away and just really tenderly like puts his like face in her chest. Right? This is his sister. Right? And then he unbuttons her dress and starts like sucking on her nipple. Sister. Like tenderly and like.
She's into it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, at one point, and then he like puts her hand beneath her skirt and then pulls her panties off. And she's like into it. And then she takes this mirror. So while her brother is like is taking her panties off, she takes this mirror and she's watching herself enjoy her brother,
Crazy.
About to fuck her.
So she's on some weird shit too.
She's on some weird shit too. And then she's in the mirror and she turns the mirror in such an angle and she sees Desu watching them. And then, and Desu runs away. Right? Cut to. And the music is just blaring.
I feel like that could have been me in high school, nigga. You know what I mean? That's like, nigga, I could have did this.
Oh, you could have seen some incest? Actually, you could have seen some shit. You didn't go to a Christian.
And you just block it out. You just like,
yeah.
And then the nigga's imprisoning you for 15 years. You're like, oh, I forgot about that, brother. Brother O'Neill.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, you could have seen some Catholic school shit in there.
I have no idea. Hey, we keep going. This is amazing.
Man, if you end up in a prison 15 years, know that you saw some priests doing some stuff.
Come find me, bro.
Yeah, well, I got no shot against this billionaire guy. So it's young Desu talking to young Ju-hwan, and they're packing up Desu's car because he's leaving, remember? So they're packing up to leave, and he's telling Ju-hwan everything. And Ju-hwan is in...
He runs his mouth too much.
Yeah. Ju-hwan is in Lee Oh-soo's class.
Yeah.
Lee Sua's class, right? And so as he's about to leave, Desu goes, don't tell anyone or I'll fucking kill you, right? And Ju-hwan goes, whatever, man. I'm going on a date with Chun Shim, the lady who was on the phone. So he told her, and it became a rumor.
And that's why he was like that fucking whore slut. Because it's like people don't even remember what it was. They just remember that she was a slut. Damn.
Right? The truth, it doesn't matter as much as what the story that comes
crazy,
out of it.
yeah.
The story is what it is, you know?
Damn, bro.
Man, yeah, people, but you know, the truth will come out eventually, right? That's what they say. All right. So now Desu is back in the private prison with Mito talking to her about it. It's July 5th. It's the day. It's the day he has to go talk to him.
Yeah.
Right? Mito asks if Desu's going to run away, and Desu says, no, I need revenge. Right? He does some like talking.
Wait, who asked Milo?
Mito asks, because he's talking to Mito. He's at the jail.
Okay.
Yeah, just talking to her about it. Mm-hmm.
Through the thing?
No, he's
in the room.
with her.
Okay.
Yeah. He paid for her to be in there. He can be in there.
Okay.
So Desu does some talking, and he sort of figures out the apartment complex, the high tower of where Lee Woo Jin is, and I don't know how he did it. I assume it's just some Korean shit. Like, it seemed like he got it through wordplay. Like, this is what it is, right? But I don't think they translated in the English version or the subtitles. Anyways, so he's in the apartment complex, and he's trying to go to the penthouse. He's probably there, right? And he's trying to figure out the elevator code, because there's an elevator code to get up there, right? He's trying to figure out, and then Lee Woo Jin and the white-haired dude walk in the elevator with him. Press the code, and they start going up. So it's Woo Jin in the center, the white-haired dude to his left behind him, and then Desu to his right behind him.
Okay.
Right? Lee Woo Jin gets out a gun, cleans it, just to show that he has it, puts it back in his pocket. Right? Desu says, "So you slept with your sister?" Lee Woo Jin laughs, doors open, they walk into the apartment, and Lee Woo Jin says, "Sick 'em." 2 guards in the apartment attack Desu. Now, before the attack starts, you see a flashback to when he was just visiting Mito in the prison before he came here, and he grabbed a toothbrush and created a shank out of it before he left. So he grabs that, stabs one dude in the eye, stabs the other dude in the neck, and like chokes him out until he bleeds out, and puts him in. You know how the apartment has like a moat? Puts him in the moat, and he runs at the white hair guy. He's about to go for him, stops, and the white hair guy says, "Hey, come on, be nice." Cut.
Really?
Yeah.
You playing with me?
No.
Quit playing with me, bro. You're playing with me for real. What really happened?
No, cut. We cut to the white hair guy. Now he's cleaning up the mess and cleaning up the bodies of the 2 guys that.
So these niggas are just calm like that.
Yeah. Oh, God, the calmest.
Until I guess other than when he killed Homeboy with the CD, he wasn't calm then.
No. That's the only time you see him like not be calm. Dude, he's just cold. By the way, the acting in this is amazing.
Sounds amazing.
It's amazing. Everyone kills.
I can't wait to see it because I see it in my own head of what they look like. So I can't wait to see what they really look like.
Yeah, and it's just, and then you hear him. It's better it's better to hear him in their own language too. It makes way more sense in a weird. You know what I mean?
I can't wait. I'm excited for you to get in it because I'm like, how the fuck does this rap?
Man. All right. So where are we going? Okay, so we cut to the scene. The white hair guy is disposing the 2 bodies that he just killed with the bodyguards. Lee Woo Jin gets out of the shower. Right, he's naked, and then he walks into like the dopest closet of all time to pick out the clothes. So the closet is just there's this cube in his room, and the cube opens up, like slides open futuristically, and there's 4 panels, and that's his closet.
Dope.
Yeah, dude, he has the dopest closet of all time. And he's putting on clothes, and while he's doing that, we see someone bring a suitcase to Mito in the prison, right? And Desu is talking to him while he's putting on clothes, and behind Desu is a wall, and it's a bunch of pictures of Woo Jin's sister, right? And Desu says, "You slept with your sister, and I started the rumor. That's why you imprisoned me." He said it was unfair to imprison me and make him guess that. But he tells Woo Jin, I won the game, so die like you promised." Right? Woo Jin tells this Desu he didn't forget because he was like hypnotized. Desu simply forgot because you're a bad person. He says a smile. You're a bad person. He tells Desu the rumors got so out of hand. One rumor is that Lee Soo was pregnant, and her sister started to believe it. So her period stopped and her belly swelled. And he says it's all with a smile. He says it's ironic. This is the line I remember. It was Desu's tongue that got her pregnant, and he grabs his dick, not Lee Woo Jin's dick. Smile. And then Desu goes, "Huh? Is that why you killed your sister?" And he's like, "I know you killed your sister because there's a picture of her at the dam where she kills herself the day she died, and she was supposed to be alone. But who took the picture?" And Lee Woo Jin just starts laughing, right? Cut back to Mito and back in prison, right? And she's changing clothes. She picks up clothes from like the suitcase they bought her. At the bottom of the suitcase is, remember the bag with the wings in it at the very end of the movie that was left on the ground that I told you? That's there.
She knew it was there, or she doesn't?
No, she doesn't know it's there.
She's like,
she doesn't see it.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. And Lee Woo Jin is telling Desu, all right, so everything that happened to you after you got out was due to hypnotic suggestion. So remember the hypnotist that got him out? So Lee Woo Jin says he hypnotized both Mito and Desu with the objective of getting them to fall in love. And this is how they did it. So They use hypnosis to suggest that he goes to the restaurant where she's working after he gets out. Next, the cell phone call will get her to like what he's like. The reaction to will get her to like whatever dude has that cell phone. So she is interested in him, right? That's why she smiles when he's eating an octopus. It's very weird. Right? Yeah. And then Mido was programmed.
Are they showing it all this?
Yeah, they're showing it. And then Mido was programmed to pass out when his hand got touched, and that's how they got them to start falling in love. And then it sort of makes sense that like stuff like he goes to see like his friend out of the blue nowhere, right after the guy said he would. So it's all hypnotic. So he led him down this path.
Yeah.
Right? And he says, the whole time, Desu, you're asking the wrong question. You kept wondering why Wu Jin imprisoned you and never, why did he release me? So the whole time, he was thinking he was trying to get revenge, figure out why it happened, but he never was thinking, well, why did he let me go?
Yeah.
Right? And Wu Jin takes a laser pointer, points across the room while humming, and he lands on this purple present, like a birthday present. It's all purple. And Desu goes over there and he opens it, and inside the present is a book. Cut to Mido. She finds the wings, she puts them on, and does like a weird little dance. Right? Cut back to the book. Desu opens it. The first page, his wife and his baby daughter. Then he flips through it, and it's just a picture of his daughter growing up and older and older. And you see some with Desu, and then Desu's at the picture. She gets older, and then a teen, a preteen. And finally, you arrive on a current day picture of his daughter. And it's Mido.
Got him! What else can you say, bro? That's like, yo, no bullshit. No, I didn't say nothing because this is the best movie ever. But nigga, this is top. This is between this and Cartman making that nigga. No, but I know you know what I'm talking about. The best two revenge I've ever heard in my life. This and Cartman making a nigga eat his fucking parents, bro. That's how good. That's the feeling of like the first time I saw that episode was what you just gave me of like, oh, that's that you want to get somebody back? How about I make you fuck your daughter? You fuck face. Yo, and I'm thinking Lee Woo Jin is that nigga. He was getting revenge.
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, this movie just got my
bro.
Woo!
This shit.
That just blew my head off, dude. That was some Departed or South Park type shit.
I can't. You know how long I couldn't wait to tell you this?
All right,
you know
keep going.
Long, oh God.
It's also like so right in my face. I can't believe I didn't see that the whole time.
It's right there, especially when she starts playing.
You know
with
what?
The wings again.
I thought because also I forgot that 15. First off, I forgot he had a daughter.
Right.
B forgot 15 years go by.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just forget that.
Yeah.
I forget he had a daughter. Forgot 15 years went by.
Oh God! How do you feel?
I thought she was Me Too was the sister, and they faked the death. But he did kill his sister though.
Yeah. I mean, his no.
Let's keep going. Let's just because I'm acting like the movie's over. The movie's not over. Keep going. I just got my wig blew back.
Take a breath.
Yeah, I got my wig blew back. I'm ready to go now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I need to take a breath because good God, I've never revealed it to someone before. Man. It's me though. Desu, there's like a mirror next to. There's a mirror next to the.
Oh, let's go back a second. What just happened? I got it.
So he flips to the last page, sees it as Mido. That's his daughter.
Uh-huh.
He's shocked, and as he's shocked, he turns to like the left, and there's a mirror on the table that shows his face. And at the bottom of the mirror, the words engraved at the bottom are "Laugh, and the world laugh with you. Weep, and you will weep alone."
Cold game out here, bro.
So Mido, the cut to Mido back in the prison, and she's doing the weird dance, and Mr. Park comes in and gives her a creepy smile. Cut to Desu, he screams, ah! He grabs a pair of scissors and charges at Wu Jin. Right, the white hair guy steps in and throws Desu into a glass display. Right, Desu gets up, thrown into another glass display. Gets up, thrown into another gas display. Gets up. Thrown into the window. They're in this high-rise apartment. The window cracks, breaks, right? White guy's handling them, right? White guy looks at him and smiles, and all of a sudden, just starts bleeding profusely from his ear.
The white hair guy.
Yeah. Turns out one of the throws, Desu got him, right? Like in the ear. Starts bleeding. And he starts. Desu gets up, charges him again, and the white man goes into the rage. Grabs him, grabs the scissors, and starts trying to stab Desu. Just with the knife.
With the toothbrush?
With the scissors. He's grabbed scissors. He has scissors. Oh. No, yeah, it's scissors. It's scissors. He grabs scissors, right?
Where's he get scissors from?
He grabs them when he charges.
Okay.
He grabs them off the table.
Is the Legion Wizard, the other guy, just watching this?
Yeah, he's just watching this, right? And the white-haired guy's about to stab him, right? He's so mad that he got fucking stabbed. And, Wu Jin goes, Mr. Han. Doesn't stop. He goes, Mr. Han! Doesn't stop. He's about to kill Desu. So Wu Jin walks up behind the white-haired guy, takes his gun, poof, shoots him in the back of the head. Covered in blood. Cut to. Wu Jin is in the moat washing his face, and Desu just broken. Does Mito know? Instead, Wu Jin goes, what?
He didn't know did she change her name? What was her, did he not?
Yeah, she didn't know, like, she changed her name. What's it called? It turns out.
Well, I can tell me, yeah.
No, I mean, I'll tell you right now, but Wu Jin was raising her, and so he, like, secretly. Yeah, dude, he had this revenge plan, bro. Instead of answering Wu Jin knows, Wu Jin asks, why'd you leave her at the prison? You should have known that was going to be a trap. And he realized, and then Desu realizes that Mr. Park, the prison warden, is still working for Wu Jin.
Of course.
And he goes, I didn't cut off his hand for you. He wanted a new prison. And for me to build a new prison, I said the price was his hand. So he still, he wasn't being nice. He just was like, I'll make it seem like Cut to Mr. Park is smiling across from Mito, the exact same purple present in between them. Mr. Park gets a call. Answers the phone, gives the phone to Mito. And it's Desu on the line going, don't open it! Don't open the box! And Mito is crying. She says, you know what's in it? Is something bad gonna happen? And he goes, hey, if you open it, everything's over. Just don't open the box. Don't open the box, right? And then Desu gets on his hands and begs, would you tell Mito she did nothing wrong? I committed a terrible sin, but leave Mito alone. And if Mito finds out the truth, I will tear your body apart and I'll eat it. And then he goes, I didn't mean that. And he goes and he crawls over to Wu Jin and grabs his feet and starts kissing it. It's a mistake. Remember Evergreen Boys. And he sings the fight song from his high school. The guy, please, I'll do whatever you want. You want me to be your dog? I'll be your dog. And he goes and he barks. Look, I'm your dog. I'll wag my tail, please. Don't do anything. And he licks Wu Jin's shoes and we pan to Wu Jin and bro, he's just dying laughing. Just trying not to laugh out loud, covering his face. And then he goes, it's just this is how laughing, and he goes, this is how you treat your women. This is what happens to the women in your life. And he's just laughing, and then Wu Jin grabs the scissors off the table. He goes, not Wu Jin, sorry. Desu grabs the scissors off the table, and he goes, look, grabs a little cloth, pulls out his tongue, cuts his tongue off. But the shot, you don't see him because you see like the scissors, you don't see his tongue, and you see him clot down. He's crying, and he goes and he spits blood into the moat, and then he grabs the phone, which is left on the ground, and he gives it to Wu Jin, right? And Wu Jin takes the phone and tells Mr. Park, don't open the present in front of Mito. So Mito doesn't know. Mr. Park takes the present away and leaves.
Believes her in there.
She's in there. Wu Jin hugs Desu and says, now, he gets down on his knees and hugs Desu and goes, now what joy do I have to live for? And he puts the gun to Desu's head, but his head is also next to Desu's head. So the bullet would travel and kill both of them, right? He cocks the hammer and stands up. He doesn't do it, right? Wu Jin throws the trigger to stop the pacemaker. You know, the thing that stops his heart? He throws it at Desu's feet. So Desu grabs it, opens it, and Wu Jin just walks calmly to the elevator, right? And the elevator doors open, and Desu clicks the button. He still clicks the button. And Wu Jin doesn't die. Right? The thing that's supposed to kill him doesn't kill him. Instead, so the whole movie, every time you see Woojin's apartment, the luxury apartment, you see this little tape recorder on the side. Right? So he presses the button and Woojin doesn't die. The tape recorder starts going. And it's just the audio recording of him fucking his daughter. And you hear his daughter say, "This really hurts, but I'm enduring it. You must know this." And just, Woojin smiles, elevator door closes behind him, and you just see a defeated Desu just listening for
Bleeding out the mouth?
He has a cloth in his mouth, but just defeated, head on the ground, just completely broken, just listening to him fucking his daughter. And you know how I said the sex scene goes on way too long? This scene also goes on way too long. He doesn't move. And you're just listening to him fuck his daughter. So. Oh, God.
We got to go backwards for the rest of this. I got to go Ken Griffey Jr. for the rest of this, bro. That literally blew my hat backwards.
Make America say it again. Cut to Woojin. He's in the elevator and he's crying. And he looks down and he puts his hand down. Oh, no. So it really hurts. And so right before the elevator door closes and he's listening to fuck his daughter, Woojin says to Dae-soo, "My sister and I loved each other even though we knew everything. Can you two do the same?" And then the elevator doors close. Then he listens to it, All right. So now Woojin's in the elevator crying. He reaches his hand down. Flashback to the day Lee Soo-ah dies. Right? Lee Soo-ah... So old Woojin is in the elevator putting his hand down, and it cuts to young Woojin putting his hand down, and he's holding onto his sister as she leans over the dam. Right? Exactly mirroring the opening scene with the guy.
Yeah.
And, And young Woojin is crying. And this whole scene, you see young Soo-ah, and Woojin goes in between old Woojin and young Woojin. So it's just back and forth between the two, right? And, Soo-ah tells him this is what she wants and he should just let her go. And she grabs the camera on his neck and takes a picture of herself. And she says she has no regrets. Woojin, do you? And Woojin says no and lets go. And adult Woojin is standing over the bridge crying. And then he turns his hand outreach for her, into a shape of the gun, cocks it, puts the imaginary gun to his head. Pow! Real older Woojin kills himself in the elevator. And you see the doors close on his dead body. Transition to a piece of paper. The voiceover is saying what the paper's writing down. Dae-soo is saying, "This is my story. Thank you for listening to the end." It's the letter that he's written to someone. We see Dae-soo sitting across from another person in a snowy field. It's the hypnotist from earlier. She says, "I have no reason to help you, but I was touched by your last sentence." She reads his whole life story again. "I was touched by your last sentence. Even though I'm no worse than a beast, do I have the right to live?" She says the hypnosis might not work, but he agrees to it anyway. She hypnotizes him. She says when she rings her bell, he will no longer remember his terrible secret. Bell rings. Dae-soo wakes up. He's in a snowy field alone. Midu walks up to him. Right? She walks up to him and she hugs him. And she says that she loves him. Right? Close up on Dae-soo's face. Right? Hold on. All right. Close up to Dae-soo's face. Right? Happy music is finally playing for the first time. He's smiling. Right? And the music slowly starts turning sad. And his face slowly gets twisted in pain. He goes, starts crying. Credits. Old boy.
He didn't forget. He remembered. Nigga. So
I'm very proud of myself for this.
So he gets his daughter out.
Yeah, so his daughter.
And he tries to keep it together. Like, I'm not gonna tell her. I'm gonna get hypnosis. She don't know. We both don't know.
We both don't know.
And then that nigga still knew.
Yeah. How are you feeling right now?
Like, I can't wait to watch this fucking movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, it's a great movie. That's a good movie. That's a good movie. That's just a good movie. I can't wait to watch it. I want to see how much is of it's accurate from what you told me and then what I saw in my head to what really happens.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see how lined up all three are.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for you to watch this. I think you will love this movie as well.
Crazy movie, dude.
It's pretty fucking nuts.
I'm probably gonna watch this shit tonight, bro. That was nuts. That was awesome.
At the beginning, when you were like, "Oh, that's pretty dark," and I was like, "Dude, you have no idea." When he was like getting the food through the prison door, you're like, "That's pretty dark." It's like, dude, this is the lightest part of the movie.
I knew it was about revenge. But the dope twist of that, it's not about his revenge.
And it's right. Yeah, it's not about his revenge, and the fact that his daughter is right in front of you the whole time.
The whole movie.
It's almost obvious. That's what makes it so great. It's almost like, of course.
Even once they give up the things about that, it's the things about the sister that it's like, oh, he said something in high school. Because you get something that when he said he talked too much, I was like, okay, like I'm already piecing the movie together, but like, I love that they make you, they want you to piece it together.
And they keep you on edge. You're with him as the journey goes. I will say, this is something interesting that I meant to bring up during this, but because I was too into the story. What's really interesting about the bad guy and him are the same age, right? And Desu looks every bit of someone who's 40 and been through a lot of shit, right? But the bad guy looks like he's in his early 20s.
Because he took care of himself.
But like, and it's almost unnatural. That's what's great about it. It's one of my favorite villains of all time. One of the best villains of all time.
Was he the villain? I thought Desu was the villain.
They're both the villain.
Desu's not a good. I knew he was gonna be a bad dude.
Yeah,
but I said, there's no way he's not a good
dude.
dude. There's no way this dude's a good dude. Man, that's fucking. I can't wait to watch this. And
that's Oldboy. Everybody.
Oldboy.
I hope you enjoyed me explaining it to you. I'm glad to be on this side.
First, reverse.
See you soon,
Did you have
guys.
fun?
I had a lot of fun. I was into it. There was a while I wasn't even reading the notes.
It's the best, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh God, this happens and this happens and this happens. Yeah.
Ehsan just spoiled your fucking beans.
Spoiled your beans, guys. Glad to be on this side.
We'll be back next week.
We will.